everyone, it's Brenda Quintana here, and I am going to do another Kiss tent presentation. Last week we made a little butterfly kiss tents, and I really like those. And this week I was looking at my punches, and I'm like, I think we should do a little tulip. Okay, I've got a lot of glare here, but a little tulip kiss tent. And I made these ones double-sided so you can see them from the back. They are a little bit easier to make than the butterfly. And let me just hold the butterfly one up from last week so you can see it. That tutorial is still available. Oh, okay, it's very hard for me to get these into the screen. Everything is mirrored, so for me it's hard to do that. But you can see they're both really cute, and I'll put them down on my work surface in a moment and you can see how they would look together. Now, if you were having a garden party, I think it would look beautiful if you had the butterfly with flowers and the tulips. Really nice presentation. So I think there's a place for both of them. Or if you just want a simpler design, the tulip one is also beautiful. I really love, here's one I did in pink. Pink matches me today. This one, I'll put a little hello on this one. The other one had I miss you on it. And this one you could also do like a different greeting, the same stamps that has happy birthday. It's a little bit longer, but you could also do a happy birthday tulip, or go back to the itty bitty greeting stamp set and you can find another greeting to put across there that maybe isn't in the stamp set but maybe is more for your occasion. So that is what we're going to be making today, and I'm so glad that so many of you are on here this morning. If you want to leave me a comment or if you have a question while I'm doing it live, definitely do that. And if you don't have if you're watching this as a recording later, then definitely leave me a comment afterwards and I will get back to you. Now, as always, I have a project sheet for you guys. Sorry for the glare. Anyway, this project sheet is for my email list subscribers, and it's free to be on my email list. Just go down in the description of this video down below. I think you may have to click on see more so you can see all of the different links that I have down there for you. But then just make sure you're subscribed. If you're already subscribed, you're going to get this. I send them out on Saturday, and there's just a link in the email, and you just click on it and then you can get it and print it out for yourself. Some people like to keep them in a little binder. Some people just like to view them on their iPad or laptop or whatever and work right from there. But it's just a nice little sheet because it breaks down step by step how to create it and the measurements and everything like that. And it has a supply list and a picture, so it makes it easier for you than sometimes having to always refer back to the video. But on the project sheet, I also down at the bottom, I put these links down here at the bottom. And those links link back to the video and my blog post, so you can always refer back to them if you need to, but you have the project sheet in hand for you. Okay, what else do I need to tell you? Oh, and if you like my channel, please make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, there should be a little picture of me down in the corner. That's one way to subscribe if you click on me. And then make sure if you want to get notifications of when I go live, click on the little bell as well so you can get notifications for that. All right, I think that's all I need to tell you for now, so let me switch over my camera. Okay, I've got lots of things on my workspace right now. Let's see if I can shove things over. And I said, let me just tip these over. Here are, for this angle, okay, so here are the butterfly ones that I made last week. So you can, if you haven't seen that video yet, you can definitely go look that up. It's also on my blog. And then these are the ones from this week, but you can see how nicely they would go together. I almost used the exact same colors, with the exception being the Bermuda Bay butterfly, because I did yellow flowers in the background here, but you can see I use the same colors, so this could be like really a nice garden party theme with all of these flowers. Okay, let me put my little guys away for now so that they're out of the way and we can create one of these. So the main thing that we're using is the Timeless Tulips bundle, and that consists of the Timeless Tulips stamp set and the Tulip Builder Punch. So you can buy them separately or you can buy them together and save 10%. The other, if you want to put a greeting on there, I'm also using the Classic Label Punch. Okay, so I have a couple of tricks too for this. So because I found something out with the leaf, and I want to be able to show you that. Okay, let me grab my Simply Scored scoring board, and we're going to start with a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock. And let me grab my little stylus tool. Okay, so this piece measures 4 inches by 1 inch. Very easy measurements. And then you just score at the 1 inch mark, the 2 inch mark, and the 3 inch mark. I think this is the simplest scoring thing that I ever do is a kiss tent. Very, very easy. And then you just fold this along the score line, all of the score lines, okay? And then we're going to take one end, put Tombow on it, and bring it together to form a triangle. Okay. So just grab my Tombow. I left it open last night, so I hope I don't have to unplug it. Let's see if it flows this morning. Okay, good. I just had to remove the glue blob on the end. So you just overlap the 2 ends and then just hold them down for a few seconds. Now this is what we'll put the little Hershey's Kiss inside. Okay, so we can leave that aside for a moment. Then you're going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I like that we're using Whisper White, so then all you have to do is change out the ink colors. Just choose whatever tulip colors you would like and then get that color ink pad. So actually, for my colors, let me grab my other one. I have Crushed Curry, Melon Mambo, and Gorgeous Grape. I tend to always choose 3 colors because I have found for displays that having at least 3 colors makes your displays look a whole lot better. So what do you say? Let's make a Melon Mambo one today. And so we're just gonna open this up, and I'm going to take my tulip, ink it up. We're gonna need 2 of these. So I'm gonna stamp one at one end and the other one at the other end. And then I'm just gonna set that down on my Stampin' Chamois and let that get clean while I punch these out. Where's my punch? And so now I can feed it in through the back and just make sure it's centered. And do the same for the other side. I could have probably used a skinnier piece of Whisper White. I just had this as a scrap piece this morning, and so I just grabbed it. So you could probably make this. This is probably, I don't know, my scrap was, it was 2 inches wide. So the tulip itself is, you could do like 1.5 inches would probably be perfect for the width of the paper if you needed a scrap piece of paper to work with. So you could go a little smaller. So I'll have my 2 tulips here, and now I'm going to take a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock. Now we're making leaves, and we do actually have a stamp that matches this leaf right here. The only problem is we don't have this pattern to stamp on the other side of the leaf. So there is a technique where you can reverse it, like mirror image it onto a sheet and get it to stamp onto the back side of the cardstock. But I wondered if there was an easier way without using this leaf that I could, kind of get the same effects but be a little bit faster. So I'm not going to use this leaf stamp, and instead I'm going to just punch out 2 leaves. And in my directions, I kind of say to lay them symmetrical. And you'll probably, if you just get the project sheet, you might not understand what I mean. But what I mean is, I want these to be symmetrical on either side of my flower. So you kind of want to lay them out how you're going to have them on the flower. And then get yourself a little scrap piece of paper, because we're going to go over top, and I'm going to put these guys on here. And then I'll take my Granny Apple green ink pad, and I'm going to take that same tulip pad that I used to stamp this one. I'm going to ink it up. I've cleaned it in the meantime. I always clean my stamps in between. I don't like to muddy my colors. And you'll notice that the side of this tulip fits very well on this leaf. Now it covers it totally, so there's no perimeter area. Let me just pull this off. But see how nice that looks? I think it looks pretty good. So then we're just going to come in and do the same for the other side, following the right side. And then let me get that off. And look at that. So it has some of the lines of a leaf, not exactly maybe as perfect as the other one, but it's going to save you a little bit of time in trying to mess with that. So I thought that would be just a little alternative way. There are, of course, ways to reverse that, and you can look that up and do that if you want to. But for my purpose, I thought this would work great. So now I'm just going to attach these together. So I'll put a little blob of glue just about there. And then I'm just going to kind of put this on here. And you can have your leaves wherever you want to. If you want to do them exactly like mine, just look at my picture on the project sheet, and then you can kind of just mimic. You can see how much I leave peeking out, and then you can just mimic that. And I like to have them symmetrical, so I'll just kind of come in. And it doesn't matter that I just have a tiny little bit of glue to start off with, because I'm going to adhere all of this to my tent, so it's going to have more stability. So here's my little tent, and I'm going to put Tombow all along one side of this tent right here. Okay, and then I'm going to line this up like that. Okay, and then when I looked at the back, I thought, hey, it would look nice just to have a flower in the back. You don't have to have a back flower, because on my butterflies, I don't actually have the flower in the back as well. So, I mean, you can totally decide not to do that. But since my flower looks kind of white on the back, this one has, the yellow flower, so it looks a little better. I thought I would just stamp another one, because it doesn't take a lot of time to stamp and punch out another one while you're doing the first one. So for this one, I'm just going to take Tombow, put it right near the top, because that's where we're going to line up first, and then just put it down the center. Don't put it all the way to the sides, because some of the sides are going to hang over the top. So for this, I'm going to come along, I'm going to bend this up a little bit, and then I'm going to line up the top of my tulip first. You can kind of use your fingers to kind of guide it into place. Get a little pinch, and then look at the front side and make sure it's still lined up, because you don't want to have like a weird overlap hanging. Okay, so that looks good. And then once you've got that lined up, then you can press down on the rest of the tent. And then I looked at the leaves and I thought, you know what? I don't need to double side the leaves, because they actually look good coming from the back. It still looks like there's little leaves on the back, so I don't need to duplicate the leaves, and that would just be an extra step. I only need to do the tulip head twice. So that's how I would do that. And then if you want to stamp a greeting, grab yourself a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green again. And guess what? We've got a few greetings that we can use right from the Timeless Tulip stamp set. So if you get the stamp set, you already have them. We have a hello and a happy birthday. I like the hello because it's a little smaller. So I'm just going to ink up the hello and stamp it down. And then I'll take my punch. This is the classic label punch. And I'm going to position it so that it's all the way over to the right side. You can see that? Okay, and then give it a little punch. So now I have this long piece, and I want it to be shorter. Let's move this out of the way. So to shorten it up a little bit, I'm going to feed it in from the side right here. So just feed it in, grab your finger, and then you can kind of position it how far you want. You see how it's hanging out the side there? Just position it to make it as long as you want, and then give it a little punch. And now you have a really short label that you can use on the front. So then you just grab some mini dimensionals, and you can use one or two. I'm going to use two. And then just remove the backings. So you don't have to put a greeting on here if you don't want to. It's not necessary. I think it looks kind of cute. This also, you know, definitely you can also drop this off on someone's doorstep. You know, I miss you. And this week you can do hello. Is also a cute little greeting, right? It's, you know, kind of a general greeting. So it's kind of cute like that. Now, if you wanted to do happy birthday, here is what happy birthday looks like. It's a little bit longer, okay? But you could put it across here. You could have it sticking out a little bit. So it is a little bit longer. You could center it. Not quite as cute as the hello, but if you're doing a birthday party, it would definitely work. So that's just a little alternative. And then if you want to, if you those two greetings don't work for your occasion, then go back to the itty bitty greeting stamp set, and there's lots of different small greetings that will also fit on this classic label punch, and you can do kind of the same thing. So that's what it looks like. Oh, and then of course you need a kiss. You need a kiss to put inside. I always kind of put the pointy end first and then roll the fat bottom in. And then I just align it. And these stay in fairly well because of the foil and the tension. And so then it just makes a cute little favor. I think people will love these. They're fairly easy to make, inexpensive because kisses don't cost very much, right? So you can get a big bag of kisses and that will go a long way. And if you're doing the garden party, remember the little butterflies that I did on an earlier video. So, you know, that they just look really, really nice together, right? So I'm coming back to you guys. I know I ignored all your comments. It's very hard for me to like work and do everything at the same time. But I want you to know that I have a supply list, a clickable supply list on my blog. So if you need to know what supplies I use, you want more information about it, the price, if you want to purchase from me, that's great too. I really appreciate anytime someone purchases from me. And I always reward my customers with a free exclusive tutorial. These are tutorials that I sell, but my customers can earn them for free. This latest month's tutorial is this cute little Hershey's puppy dog. It's got kisses in the back and it's got kisses in the body too. And I've got a PDF tutorial to show you how to make that. Now you don't have to get that tutorial. I always let you choose whatever tutorial you want. I've got lots of, if you like Hershey's Kisses, I've got lots of different Hershey's Kisses tutorial, so you can choose whichever one you want. That is just my latest one. So yes, click on over to my blog if you need supplies. The link is down below. Let me see. I'm going to read some of your comments, and good morning to everyone that's here this morning. Someone loves tulips. I think tulips are my favorite flower. I think, I don't know about tulips, but I love the smell, and they're only really available one time of year in the spring, and they're there and gone. So they're kind of a special flower. You can't get them really all year round. And so I just love tulips too. So I agree with you, Linda. Oh, I'm so glad you like the little tulip favor. Oh, there's someone from the Netherlands, the birthplace of, maybe not, I don't know if it's the birthplace of tulips, but definitely it's renowned for tulips. I would love to go to the Netherlands one day and go during tulip season, because I would love to just like see all the tulips in a row. I've heard that there's places in the US where you can do that too, but I think it would be really cool to do it for the country that's really known for their tulips. That's so cool. That's cool that we have someone from the Netherlands here today. It's almost like I planned that, but I didn't. How fun. Okay. Oh, it's so nice to have you here. I'm so glad that we have. Is it just one person that's from the Netherlands? Let me go back up. Um, yes, it's Marie Jose who's from the Netherlands. I just love that. Thank you for being here. All right, guys, I don't see that you have any questions, so it's going to be a fairly straightforward tutorial, and I hope that you will enjoy making it, and my project sheet will come up tomorrow. Linda just left a comment. She said, I made the card and the puppy for a birthday of a little boy I don't even know, and he loved it. Aw. She doesn't know if it was the puppy or the kisses that the boy liked so much. But one of the things about Hershey's Kisses is that they do put a smile on people's face. If you are an American, people in America love Hershey's Kisses. Kind of very iconic figure, Hershey. I think his name was Milton Hershey, and he had his factory in Pennsylvania, and he was a really good guy. He and his wife, they couldn't have kids, but they started an orphanage and a school, and that just touches my heart. Like they were good people. So I have a very soft spot in my heart for Hershey's Kisses, and I love that they work really well for my candy designs. They come in a lot of different colors, and they're relatively inexpensive for your crafting. So I love all of those things about Hershey's. So, okay. Oh, Marisha says we do have tulips, but no Hershey's Kisses. Okay. So if you don't have Hershey's Kisses, then what you need to do is look for another kind of candy that might work well in the back, and then you just kind of need to build a base for it. I know I have been over to Europe. My parents were originally from Germany, and I know there's lots of great candy over there, and some of it is foil wrapped, and I'm sure you can find something that you could maybe build a little holder for back there, and then you can add, you know, the tulip or whatever to the front. So it's definitely not a complicated project to convert over if you're doing that. The Hershey's puppy, woof, woof, would be a little bit more difficult, but this little guy with a kiss in the back, actually I should grab the tulip. This is the one we made today. Just as long as you can kind of build a thing in the back. Hershey's Kisses are great though, because they're triangles, and I'm telling you that they're the best things to build with. So I really enjoy working with them. All right, guys, I will let you go, and I hope you have a great weekend, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.